Arsenal have ended their tour of the USA in emphatic fashion, smashing Chelsea 4-0, and the scoreline doesn't lie. A truly dominant performance and one to leave many Gooners excited. So let's break down what exactly we learnt from the game. Also, could Arsenal make a move for Jarrod Bowen, and what has Edu Gaspar had to say about our new transfer plans? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14, a happy Babs14 because I have just seen my team put in a gargantuan performance. Beautiful scene, so smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you want to win the brand new Arsenal away kit, all the details of how to win it are down below in the description. But let's get into the 5 things that we learnt from Arsenal versus Chelsea. The Arsenal have been in the US of A, and it has been a magnificent tour full of so many highs, so many goals and so many wins. As so far they have beaten Ipswich Town 5-1, beating FC Nuremberg 5-3, Everton 2-0, Orlando City 3-1, and now of course Chelsea 4-0. There are some dominant performances there, and the thing that stands out straight away from those results is the amount of goals that Arsenal are scoring. And there's no coincidence that those goals have come since the arrival of our brand new number 9 in Gabriel. And that's one of the first things that we learnt from this game, is that we have a superstar on our hands. He was of course the man of the match of the game, and in that first half up against Thiago Silva, a veteran of Brazil, a world-class defender and arguably one of the best in the Premier League, was surely thinking in his head that it might be time to retire because Jesus was running circles around him. And there truly are so many things about Jesus' game which makes him so good. His ability to play as a false 9, to drop deep and to give Aaron Ramsdale an option to hit from goal kicks. But on top of that, being an outlet, making runs in behind and being a nuisance with his movements. Yes, he showed fantastic composure for his goal, but where does that goal come from? That is the Arsenal pressing. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal press has arrived, and in this game it was a common theme for the whole 90 minutes, whether it was Jesus or Eddie Nketiah leading the line. Arsenal were constantly applying the pressure, and Chelsea aren't slouches playing out of the back. They have some top technicians, and the likes of Jorginho actually prefer to play under pressure, but the arrival of Jesus has elevated Arsenal's press so much that even teams like Chelsea that are designed to play under presses can't cope with the pressing of this current Arsenal team. But on top of the pressing being amazing, we have to talk about the attack in general. It looks like Arteta's Arsenal attack is finally starting to click. The movements, the cohesion, the chemistry and the understanding of how to hurt teams. In this game, every time the Arsenal attackers got a sniff of the Chelsea goal, they were decisive, they were impactful. Overall, Arsenal have now scored 19 goals in pre-season. It's a further indication that Arteta's attack is finally starting to take shape. Another thing that we learnt from this game is that Arsenal are now starting to sustain pressure. In that first half, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka dominated the proceedings. Arsenal were the dominant team in terms of possession, and in fact Chelsea were only able to muster 1 shot on target in the entirety of the game. But the control of Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard as a midfield 3, their ability to win their second balls allows Arsenal to sustain their pressure, and it's because of that that in the first half, in many occasions, Chelsea were boxed in. They were parking the bus. Not only is that impressive, but also we have to give a welcome to Alexander Zinchenko. A surprise starter for Arsenal, and it was just 45 minutes, but we already saw the influence of Zinchenko when it came to controlling that left hand side, and despite it being his first game as an Arsenal player, there was already a chemistry and a connection with Xhaka and Martinelli on the left hand side. And that back 4 of Ben White, Gabriel, William Saliba and Zinchenko, for me I expect to be the Arsenal back 4 against Crystal Palace. But where was Raheem Sterling, Chelsea's brand new superstar signing? Nowhere to be seen in that first half, and that is because the Arsenal defence just was so comfortable. As an Arsenal fan, it's been a very long time since I have been as comfortable watching an Arsenal team defend 1v1 as I am right now watching William Saliba. And here him as that last line of the Arsenal defence, his pace in recovery and his ability to make last man tackles. As Arsenal fans, we are learning of the true technical quality that Arsenal have at the back. And in that first half, there were occasions where Chelsea tried to press, and it's almost like press us if you can, because you're going to try to press us, we'll play out of the back and we will cause issues time and time again. And the funniest thing is even if you have your press absolutely perfect, enter the scene Aaron Ramsdale, who in that first half was sensational with his kicking. The ball's in behind to Gabriel Martinelli. It's a Ramsdale that Arsenal fans have not seen for quite a while, and it looks like he's playing with confidence once again. But also the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, Kieran Tierney, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Fabio Vieira, these are players that are all currently unavailable. So once they return to this Arsenal squad, there is a lot of reasons to be excited as an Arsenal fan. And no, I'm not trying to be Josh Kroenke, but what I'm trying to say is there's just something about this current Arsenal starting 11 that when I saw the team news, I was instantly excited. I'm not going to go as far as saying that Arsenal are back, but what I will say is if we're talking about returning to the technicians of the days of Arsene Wenger, we are truly back in that aspect, as Mikel Arteta has made Arsenal once again a truly excellent technical side. But as Mikel Arteta says after the game, we showed what we are trying to do, but it's just a test match, don't get carried away. And that is an important part, as this was our second last game in pre-season. And next up is Arsenal's final game in the Emirates Cup versus Sevilla at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday the 30th of July. What are your own thoughts on this game? Who was your Arsenal man of the match? And how excited are you now going into the brand new season and the first game against Crystal Palace? Moving on to the transfer news. Now Fabrizio Romano keeps saying that Arsenal have a mystery-wide target, and he's asking for Arsenal fans to be patient, but we are one of the most impatient fan bases in world football, and so many Arsenal fans are desperate to know who is the wide forward target. Well, according to Rick Elfrink, a tier 1 journalist for PSV Eindhoven, Gakpo is of interest of many clubs, but PSV does not want to sell at this moment as the club is in the Champions League qualifying rounds. Maybe once they qualify for the Champions League, they might change their stance, but as we close into the start of a brand new season, I highly doubt that teams want to lose such important aspects of their team this close to a brand new season, and Gakpo is by far the best player, so personally I am doubtful of a transfer, but not of Arsenal's interest. He's a player that had 25 goals and assists last season in the Eredivisie, but putting the Eredivisie to one side for a second, maybe Arsenal look for a player within the Premier League. As according to Team News and Ticks, Arsenal have a meeting with West Ham winger Jarrod Bowen next week. The mystery winger target is not just a one-man list, and Arsenal are exploring options. This won't be the first time that Arsenal have met with Bowen's camp. This is not the first time that Arsenal have been linked with Jarrod Bowen, and this source itself is ultimately pretty reliable. So it looks like Arsenal do have genuine interest in this player, scoring 12 goals, getting 10 assists. That's 22 goals and assists, more than any Arsenal player managed last season. But just like with Cody Gakpo, Bowen is a key figure for West Ham. So will they want to lose a player so important, so close to a brand new season? I highly doubt it, unless of course Arsenal pay an obscene amount of money, and we could be talking upwards of 50 to 60 million pounds. So in my opinion, do I want to see Arsenal paying that sort of money for a player the quality of Jarrod Bowen with a great season last year? But ultimately, I don't think so. That being said, what are your thoughts on the player? And if you were on the Arsenal scouting team, who is the wide forward that you want to see Arsenal sign? Edu Gaspar tells TNT Sport Brazil, I really like Lucas Paqueta. I'm a big fan for a long time, but as of today, the reality is there's not even a conversation to sign him. There's nothing, as we have many players in that position. That's it, I can't say more. But does that confirm that Arsenal won't sign the player? I don't think that's the case. If anything, it once again confirms that for Arsenal to sign a brand new midfielder, whether that is Yuri Tielemans or Lucas Paqueta, we have to sell a player first. And with the imminent departures of Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Lucas Torreira, so technically it opens up a space for Arsenal to sign an attacking midfielder. But who exactly that player is going to be, I will not lie to you guys, as things stands, I don't have a Scooby-Doo. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with the future of a young Arsenal striker that has come through the academy and looks like it's time that he gets another loan. L'Équipe in France claim that Arsenal's following Balogun is on Reims' shortlist as a Ligue side search for a replacement after the departure of Hugo Ekitike to PSG. A loan to League could be very interesting. Regardless, I think Balogun definitely needs a loan spell, because as we have seen with William Saliba, players gaining first team experience elsewhere, it's the best way for a player to truly develop and mature. I still think Balogun has a great future ahead of him at Arsenal Football Club, but as things stand with Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah, I think his first team minutes will definitely be limited, so a loan spell to Ligue 1, to the Bundesliga, the Championship, or maybe even a lower team in the Premier League, it could prove to be a very decent thing, so hopefully it goes ahead. Martin Odegaard says, I always enjoy responsibility. I'm a captain for my country and it's a nice experience, so I enjoy that. I don't know anything about the situation here. I think that question is for Mikel and the club, but if he asked me, of course, I would be happy to do it. This is all about the Arsenal captaincy, and so far in pre-season, every game that Martin Odegaard has played, he has captained the Arsenal team, and that is not a surprise because even in the end of last season, when Lacazette was on the bench, Odegaard was the Arsenal captain, and ultimately it does make sense in so many ways because he is a captain of his country and he seems to be the most vocal player on the pitch. And ultimately the role of a captain is to manage the team on the pitch, and he seems to be one of the players that Arteta trusts the most. But what are your thoughts on Martin Odegaard being the brand new captain of Arsenal Football Club? And finally, Edu Gaspar on Arsenal's transfer strategy says, there's still a lot to do and we are in the middle of the transfer window and things can happen. We are prepared for every single situation and opportunities maybe can happen. Despite signing 5 players and spending upwards of £120 million, I still think Arsenal have 1 or 2 more signings in the bag. The window goes up until September the 1st, so there is such a long time left that Arsenal could easily sell lots of players and then make some more signings towards transfer deadline day. I think a wide forward, a central midfielder, a left-footed centre-back, and maybe even a right-back. Mikel Arteta still wants to improve this Arsenal squad and it's confirmed he wants further signings. That being said, if Arsenal could only sign 2 more players in this transfer window, what are the positions that you think Arsenal needs to prioritise? Anyways guys, that's the video there and there. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Smash a like if you do, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure to follow your boy on all of his social medias, and if you want to win the brand new Arsenal away kit, the details are down below in the description. But that was today's episode of the 5 things we learnt and a bit of Transfers FC. And I think what we learnt the most is that Arsenal in the USA is truly cash money. 3 wins out of 3, 5 out of 5 in pre-season, 14 goals in the last 4 games, and Emirates Cup awaits next. Until then, take care of yourselves and in a bit.